I have twin boys now that are 30 years old that were part of the foster care. We adopted them. They were in New York. We became foster parents in California, and then somehow we found these kids online, and then eventually they were on the morning report. So all these things that we end up. So we go to New York and to see if these two boys might be a fit for our household, because they're older. So we didn't do the baby. We did the, you know, adopt an older child, because we figured there's just so many that are out there that need, and you guys know because you work at that system, in the foster care system. And so we go to New York, and so they put us up in a hotel, St. Vincent Services, and then we're out and we're taking them to the park, and we spend the whole weekend with them, and we're feeling pretty good about it. We get back to St. Vincent Services, and they have suitcases and plane tickets that they're saying, can you please take them with you?
Oh my
gosh. You don't want to go back to the foster family. And we've done our foster care classes in California. So but it wasn't like, oh, go home and decide. It's like, can you take them with you today?
That seems so unusual.
We will give you a Toys R Us gift certificate for when you get home to buy a whole bunch of toys.
Well, shoot, they should have given you a lot more than that.
But they didn't want them to go back into whatever the foster care situation it is.
Man.
So we looked at each other and we said, okay, we're going to do this. And then they said, we'll work with California and get all the, everything switched over. And so we say, hey, yeah, come on back. So we met them on Friday. Sunday, there are our kids. California, and we call up our, the foster care folks and, the agency, and we say, hey, we got these two boys from New York. What do we do? And they're like, we don't have an agreement with New York. They're like, okay, if you don't have an agreement. They said, no, they didn't do any proper paperwork, so they got to deal with it. Well, obviously, we're not going to just take them back to New York and drop them off. So our foster care experience was zero, because nobody came to us, nobody looked at our house, nobody expected it. That was just designed that those boys would be in our home. Like I said, they're 30 years now. It all worked out, and they're all, oh my gosh, they were crack babies, and we had no idea. So they gave us a bag of meds that weren't even marked properly. They had, like, some of the little canisters had different color pills and stuff in them, because they thought they needed psychotropic type stuff at 3 years old. And you're like, what are you talking about? So we just pretty much just threw all the medicine away and then started from scratch as if they were. But to know that you guys are advocates in that situation, that was in 1995. So, that's how it worked back then.